right, see how this works. Yeah, I think it works. A good book. She approached from behind as I sat in my favorite chair, reading a night course textbook, Psychology for Law Enforcement Officials. As she rested her arms on the back cushion, I expected she'd blow in my ear and put her hands on me, everywhere on me, her habit until then. But sharpness touched my neck as she whispered, "Put down that damn book and pay attention to me, or I'll cut your throat." After catching her breath, I said, "Bitch, better do it deep enough, I'll bleed out quick, or I'm taking you to hell with me." But I knew even deeper, beneath the machismo, I was hoping she'd kill me, saving me the effort and maybe the responsibility. The blade pressed harder, almost through the skin, but soon it went away and she flung the knife at the wall where it stuck. It was still quivering when she said, "Why are you reading that crap anyway? The guy who wrote it is probably crazier than you." Doubting the truth of that, I went back to reading as she slammed out of the house, hellbound without help from me, I supposed. It was a good book. Here's another one about the same lady. When she leaned close in the bar's dim redness to tell me she was a witch, not the good kind, her eyes glowed green and I knew we'd marry. For better or worse, mostly worse. Not saying she compelled me, no, we both dangled on strings woven from booze, lust, and malice by an infernal puppeteer, and I wanted to dance on that fiery stage as much as she did. We settled first in the Valparaiso Inn, once a smuggler's jewel and Florida's crown, famous thereabouts for Capone's ghost, his spectral gang, and their rodent incarnations. The inn's walls were even shakier than its moral foundations, and when she called me one day at work to say the old heap was on fire, I supposed the rats had chewed through the wiring. I found her standing on the sidewalk with the other evacuees, laughing like a delighted child, modeling her flimsiest black negligee, distracting the crowd from the blaze. She told me she had been warmly tempted to take it all off, her nightly routine at the club where she worked, but in the end drew the line short of displaying all her worldly goods for free. As for the rats, she'd been talking about moving, too much occult competition at the end, and I figured she had cut a deal with the vermin, an offer they could have refused but didn't. Maybe they followed us to our new home in a trailer park next to our propane storage lot, soon finding a way to make those tanks blow, melting our airstream down to the axles. That also amused her, but they didn't torch our next place because we almost did that ourselves, smoking while drunk, me noticing the flaming curtains just in time to extinguish them. Can't remember how she took that, but I imagine the rats were disappointed, not to mention Scarface and the fellows always on the lookout for hot places to party during Chicago winters. More than 40 years now since we split, but I still think of her sometimes. The woman who taught me what the Bible fails to mention, that marriage can be just another way to burn.